my thing is that if we don't get a deal with Pitt, then we need to just stop this bickering, stop this little back and forth. I think that's what's turning off a lot of these fans a little bit. It's just the bickering between both sides back and forth.
Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports and by our great friends at Chevy. Chevy's back, presenting sponsor. We love Chevrolet. Where are we? We're live from where? West Palm Beach?
Palm Beach Gardens.
Palm Beach Gardens we're live from. I was on the last show. We had Barstool Classic, Arizona. Per usual, we're kind of all over the place. The boys are split up. We got Dan Rappaport's going to be on this show, the second half with Billy Horschel, who just won on the PGA Tour, friend of the program. So interview coming with Billy Ho at the end of this. But yeah, we got a lot going on. I want to give a shout out. I was on the last show to Scottie Scheffler and Nelly Korda, who just keep winning.
Sure.
They're making me a lot of money on the DraftKings Sportsbook right now.
Yeah.
An amazing amount of money. And I was telling people all week, because we had Barstool Scottsdale and in the tournament, that it feels like I'm betting on the Chiefs every game, except they're like plus 550 instead of being minus 150 every game. Like I'm just betting. People are like, wow, great hit. I'm like, well, we're just betting the best players who win every week, and then they just win every week.
It's stunning still. And we did talk about it on the last show, but I don't know. Is it going to keep going? I mean, he's probably not going to play till the PGA, right? So we're not going to know. But until then, but I think he's just going to keep going. And Nelly as well. Nelly pulled out since we last did the show. She said she's tired, which is understandable.
Very tired.
You win 5 right in a row.
Has to be tired. Exhausted. 5 in a row. It's wild. The whole thing's wild, but it's been great. It's been great betting on him. Shout out to DK Partner getting through the whole thing and just betting on the best players, and they just are better than everyone else.
It is true. It goes to show that, I mean, golf is really, 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 really hard, and it's hard to win. But then when somebody, for whatever reason, makes it look easy, you can't adjust as a DK partner. You're just like, we're going to keep putting this guy at 450. What else do you want us to do?
I saw like plus 350 or something he is for the PGA, and it's like a little bit lower than he was for the Masters, but it still feels psychotic not to just bet him to win the entire thing. So yeah, it's weird in that I feel like we've heard so much over the last 10 or 15 years about how the equipment's gotten better, so there's too much parity in the game. People say no one will ever, like Tiger couldn't dominate ever again because everybody's so bunched up now. And then that's just not true.
It's not true.
There's two people that are
clearly I saw Scotty. He was doing the rounds, the media rounds. He was at Dude Perfect today.
No.
Yep. Just had time for them. When's he going to have that baby? When's that baby coming out? Because, we thought this guy was going to pull out Wednesday of the fucking Masters. That was 2 months ago.
Oh, that made me laugh. That's, yeah. Well, we've also, I feel like you haven't had water in a little bit because we were also hungover today.
Hungover, yep.
Yeah, we did videos with Bob Does Sports yesterday, which was very, very fun. They're going to come out in the next couple of weeks.
I realized when we got home from dinner last night, I was shit-faced at dinner.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Shit-faced.
Me too. And
Rocco's Tacos. I was screaming about a bunch of shit that I was laughing about this morning. The towel situation. We were just talking about like what the things you'll do to towels in the hotel room.
Oh shit!
It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. And then I
think at one point I stood up. I said, "Oh, I'm supposed to stand on this mat. I'll on it." You know what I mean? Like I don't give a fuck.
I had 2 margaritas at dinner that I didn't need.
I saw you sipping them.
Yeah.
Trent was doing the hands behind the back on the long straw and slurping them up, and it was making the bubble sound at the bottom of it.
We did. Shout out to Fireball. We did a video that included Fireball in our 2 videos that we did with Bob Does. Yeah. And then we went to dinner, and it's one of those things where you either keep going or you die.
Yep.
You keep going or you die. So I got a margarita and it tasted good, and then our guy Jared got another one, so I got another one, a frozen one. I got one, and it was good.
Alex, you want to throw a little beep on that hard C word that I threw out there?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Good
sometimes
idea.
sometimes a beep it goes a long way.
2 minutes in.
2 minutes in's tough. You're not even giving people enough time to. Some people might just be listening in their bed.
Yeah.
Their brain hasn't really turned on yet.
This episode is presented by Chevy. With golf season in full swing, Chevy wants to help make the most of every drive. The all-electric Blazer EV's bold design and dynamic performance make it the perfect electric vehicle to get you to the course in style and comfort. Blazer EV helps you get the distance you're looking for with an available EPA estimated 324 miles of range on a full charge. This thing's also just sexy, the all-electric Blazer EVs.
It's phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Get to that part that we talked about the other day where they won the award for like best SUV. against all gas cars, everything.
You're going to love this part. Plus, Blazer EV earned the prestigious honor of being named Motor Trend's 2024 SUV of the Year.
That's right.
Motor Trend, for this award, judged big, small, gas, hybrid, and electric vehicle and luxury SUVs. Blazer EV beat them all.
That's all of the SUVs. You know, everything you listed, it's like they beat everybody.
They just dusted them, and it's all electric.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal stuff. You see it all out in the streets now. The Blazer EV is everywhere, and they're winning the awards for it. And it's just, you got to give it a shot at this point. This is the way the world is going, and why not just get the best one?
Facts.
Yep.
And it looks great. And and the Blazer's iconic. You can go look at Blazers from the 80s. They got all kinds of fantastic Chevy Blazers. And now they got the all-electric. It's great. Motor Trend believes it's the best. Head over to Chevy.com/BlazerEV to check out lease offers and amazing deals. Chevy.com/BlazerEV. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
What you said about Scottie came from a place of like, you haven't had water in 18 hours.
Yeah.
You probably didn't sleep great.
Yeah.
And he's doing other media events.
The Dude Perfect one is tough because they're so big.
Oh yeah.
Well, same thing we did with the Masters when they did the Masters thing a couple years ago. It's like, all right, at some point you kind of have
looks
to
like he went to their
go.
headquarters. Their headquarters looks insane.
Is it in Dallas?
Yeah, which is like near him. So yeah, I mean, I'm not too butthurt about it, but it was they posted. I got tagged a bunch in it, being like, "Uh-oh, don't watch this." And one of the posts was, "When you're having a regular meeting and the best golfer on the planet just randomly shows up."
Oh yeah,
and he just walked in. They were just talking. You can actually hear him say at one point to one of the guys, like, "Yeah, I love the majors." It's similar to what Brooks Koepka said, where he's like, when the course is really hard, it just like takes out a lot of people, and I can just be better than the other guys that are better than them, and then I just win. It's pretty easy for him.
Seems to be the mindset of a guy who rips off a bunch of majors in a row.
Yeah,
or like 4 out of 6 or something like that.
The difficulty of the golf course means nothing to him. He's so fucking good.
Yeah, it helps him.
Yeah,
right. It's like it's like we kind of see it in our latest video that comes out where we did like important tournament. And you can like it even at that skill level, we're not the best players in the world.
No,
if people haven't noticed. It's like when a course plays really, really hard, that whoever's playing better truly can stand out versus fuck me. Like when you're playing a course where you can kind of hit it anywhere, it's more forgiving, whatever. Anybody can kind of get lucky, be in the mix, make putts, whatever the hell it might be. It's kind of why it's almost amazing that Scottie's won 4 out of 5 now. And like when he goes to RBC Heritage, it was almost like I was nervous to put money on him because you're thinking like, okay, it's not a major. It's Target golf course. You guys were there. It's like everybody kind of hits it to the same spot. Sky's not going to be able to separate himself. He still separates himself. But yeah, the majors, it is as it gets harder and harder. It's like stay in there Thursday, stay kind of in the mix Friday. And by the time they play 72 really hard holes, the better guy just fucking wins.
I also think what's getting forgotten in this this run that Scottie's on, he was so close to being 5 for 5. Steven Yeager is standing in the way of he's making all of us say 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5. It couldn't just be a clean Nelly won 5, Scottie won 5. You go back to that tournament that Yeager won, he barely won it. Scottie's putt lipped out.
Scottie missed like a 5-footer on his last hole.
I'm congratulations to Steven Yeager as a huge win. I get
Yeager
it.
bombs.
But I also want to just say 5 for 5. He won like 4.98 out of the last 5 tournaments.
Right. Hey, one person has beaten him in 5 tournaments. Barely.
That's a better way to put it.
Right.
Barely.
That is a much better way to put it.
And like if you look at the different fields, there's hundreds of people that have tried to beat him.
So many. Everybody's trying to beat him.
It's almost like one of these chess things where someone's like the 14-year-old chess like prodigy that's out there, and everybody tries to beat, plays 15 people at a time and just dusts all of them. That's like what Scottie's doing. He's played hundreds of golfers, and he's just killing all of them.
One thing you and I did forget to talk about that I was thinking about after we finished recording, that 15-year-old kid who's like winning Korn Ferry events. Not winning, but
Miles Russell.
That kid is
tailor-made athlete, by the way.
I didn't talk about him with you.
No, I know. I was saying that's one thing we forgot about.
Last week. I thought you meant last night. I was like, we did not talk about Miles Russell.
No. I was saying when we did the podcast, because I made a list of things and I didn't put him on it, but he deserves a mention on this podcast.
15 years old.
He's got a lefty thing that you guys have going too, where he just looks like they put one of his swings on the range because he got into the Korn Ferry Tour event this week too.
Yeah.
And TaylorMade put out a video just last night. And he's got that Akshay Bhatia, Frank, like the lefties, you guys just look better, like 20% better already. and his swing, he was just ripping it. He's TaylorMade athlete, 15 fucking years old. Like, our guy Alistair grinding his dick off out there to finish like top 25. He's 30 years old. Unbelievable golfer. Everybody I know can't believe how good Alistair is when you watch him hit it. And this 15-year-old shows up and it's just like playing the same kind of. It's like, what? How is that fucking possible?
It's tough. Shooting in the 60s. Wow.
What is that?
How is he doing
Ridiculous.
What is that at 15 years old?
Shout out to TaylorMade. Do they do the thing like I think the European soccer leagues, they sort of scout kids coming up because you're like, oh, who are we going to jump on, who we want to sign? If golf companies are doing that, I'm sure that's probably how Miles Russell got in the door.
Yeah, dude, I saw him. I didn't even really fully know, just because it's hard to watch Corn Ferry Tour events and pay full attention, the whole deal. And then I saw him give an interview, and he just had one of those sick lifestyle TaylorMade hats on.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh shit, this guy is a TaylorMade athlete.
It's cool.
And yeah, they do have that. I know a good friend of mine who does that for a different company, and he legit travels around the country going to like junior golf tournaments.
Yeah,
and scouts young players.
Wow,
and tries to get them, hooked on the right juice early.
What a gig!
I know, it's an incredible job.
Scouting world's wild.
Yeah,
where you have to like kind of take shots on very, very young athletes that you have no idea how they're going to pan out.
They do that in hockey.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But it's not equipment-wise, isn't, it's obviously the team. But
right.
Teams
yeah,
too.
of course.
Or you think back to like Billy Beane and Moneyball, right?
Yeah.
That whole scene about.
Let's think about it.
You think about that.
He's like, that's great.
Whole scene, let's the five of us in this room think about it.
I need water bad, man. Where is this guy? I told him, and Brendan's he's the best. He's the best, but he's a snail's pace, man. Like, what's he doing down there? Having a conversation? Takes 2 seconds. Takes 2 seconds to come up here.
Let's
Billy Beane. Billy Beane, that scene where he's like talking about should he go to college or should he get drafted by the Mets, and he always went back to that moment where he's like, that just ruined me. I wasn't ready for that shit.
Right.
And these guys are taking a risk, like, you're going to be a number 1 overall pick, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. They just take shots on these kids, and I would say 99.999% of them don't make it.
Agreed.
Crazy, but
it's
this
hard.
guy did. Miles Russell did, and TaylorMade saw it.
They saw it. They crushed it. Big thing that just came across. How about Reggie Bush?
Yeah.
I'm right now living in a moment where I don't know what happened.
What do you think happened?
Yeah, guess.
What the fuck could Reggie Bush have done?
And have we ever brought up Reggie Bush on this show?
Did Reggie Bush get a hole-in-one?
Reggie Bush got his Heisman back.
I was gonna say that, and I should have.
Because of all the new rules and regulations in terms of like getting compensation as a college athlete and doing all these things, they're giving it to him back. Of course.
Bro, shout out to Johnny Manziel, who's been carrying that flag forever for
That's
Reggie.
kind of why I put it on here, because Johnny Football is a huge Arizona golf scene guy. He plays everywhere. He's a member at Mesa.
Yeah.
And I saw him. He was just he was doing his rounds with all the social posts.
Club Shay Shay, the Shannon Sharp show, which is now like the biggest show in the world. And he was talking about Reggie Bush on that show. But yeah, pretty much anytime they put a microphone in front of Johnny Manziel recently, he's been like, it's crazy that Reggie Bush doesn't have a Heisman. And he's right, because anybody who watched Reggie Bush or has watched Reggie Bush highlights knows he's the best college football player we've ever seen.
He was the most exciting guy to watch in history.
Yes.
He was sick.
That number 5 on those USC jerseys, just
iconic.
Like almost similar to like Scottie, where he was so much better than everyone that it was just like, oh yeah, every time he gets the ball, good fucking luck.
Dude, it reminded me, the closest thing I ever saw was like Marshall Faulk for the Rams, when they were the greatest show on turf.
He was great, yeah.
Who, like, there's some running backs who they do just pick up however many yards every time, and it's not overly dramatic. They're just stronger and they are whatever. But Reggie Bush, he was fucking, every play was highlight reel material.
Yeah.
He
would put the ball behind his back when he was juking a guy, and weirdly didn't have a great NFL career. Like, I thought that was
solid.
Was it better than I remember?
He finished with negative rushing yards with the Bills when he played for them for like 3 seasons.
What was he,
It's
Saints
like a
for a while?
crazy
The Saints,
stat.
I feel like
I remember
he
he got
pretty good,
the
wasn't
Saints.
He was with the Saints for a while.
He was solid there, wasn't he? I mean, he wasn't great. USC Texas is an all-time national
Oh,
champion.
Vince Young.
Yeah.
Incredible. Matt Leinart. I watched that game in real time, and I was just like, living it. It was so fun.
I'm going to cut my toenails when we get back to the hotel after this.
Okay.
My fingernails are too long. It drives me
I'm
crazy.
feeling it right now inside my shoe. You know, sometimes you go to curl your toes and it kind of cuts them.
Yeah, I do. Do you think there's any science behind your fingernails grow faster when you're out in the sun?
My
it
wife
vitamin D?
always says that if your fingernails grow, that you're just healthy. Like if they grow fast, and
Really?
I always think that that's like
That
incorrect.
can't be true. Mine would be fucking.
She says
going
it's like one of
back.
those things that like she always says. Where I'll be like, oh my god, I cut my fingernails again. She's like, means you're healthy. I'm just like, I don't think that's true. I feel horrific, but
Right. I would say 99% of the time I feel awful.
she's gonna be on my deathbed and she's gonna be like looking at my hands like, oh, you're still
doing
growing.
okay, actually.
No.
You know, actually, I think that might be the opposite of the truth because don't your fingernails keep growing when you're dead?
I think there are a few things. I
Your
think that
hair?
might be right.
And your fingernails just keep
Really?
going?
I don't know.
Look that up, Alex.
But for like how long?
I think a long time.
Really?
No.
That's creepy.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I
what's a
can't-
long time?
I can't. handle
Thousands
that.
of years?
No, come on, dude.
Thousands of years.
Come on, dude. That's
So
crazy.
your fingernails keep growing
after you
after
die.
you die, which we all will die, which is a nightmare.
I did have some hangover anxiety this morning, I will say. I was just kind of like living it. Like
Yeah,
looking in my
dude.
mirror like,
It
God
says
damn
it says that hair and fingernails may appear longer after death, but not because they're growing, because
Everything else is
skin
dying
around
and
them is
shrinking.
retracted.
Oh god.
All right, so that was
That's kind of fucking gross.
that was not a fun lesson. Yeah, cough right into the mic.
Dude, those hangover anxieties, Trent, when
I
I got
can't.
to catch a flight are so bad because man, when that plane starts taking off, like we take so many flights, it's almost you're immune to it. But when you're real hungover, you're not. You start looking around, being like, "This is
Oh,
scary that we're doing this."
And I would say I largely have the last couple of years have put myself in a position where I will drink but not get hungover. This was for work.
Yeah, no,
This was for work. So I did it.
Yep.
Had to do
The
it.
2 margaritas at dinner were not work. I'll tell you that much. But the rest of the day was. And then I woke up this morning. I was just like, I just had. It's like a little bit of a buzz, not like a drunk buzz, but like a buzz in my body where I'm just like, I got anxiety right now.
Yeah.
So
You also didn't eat, and when you're just ripping fireballs like that, it gets to you quick.
Yeah.
Had Chipotle at 11. Didn't eat again until 9 p.m.
Yes.
Oh.
Correct. Same.
It was fun though.
We were asking for a loaf of bread out on the golf course.
Yeah,
Anything.
we kept calling for a loaf of bread.
Nothing.
Can we get a loaf of bread out here? We were
Nothing.
asking no one, but felt good to say.
Amazing.
Congrats to Reggie Bush. That's
Congrats to Reggie
fantastic.
Bush. That's a no-brainer. That's just like what's right's right. And congrats to Johnny Manziel, who's been fighting that fight.
That should be like the beginning of like a chain reaction of all these guys getting their stuff, you know?
Yeah, probably. I don't know who.
Where's Pete Rose at?
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
but that's different.
Barry Bonds, Pete Rose, all these guys now.
I think that's different. Those are
It is
two. Those all
different.
both of those things are different.
it is different, but it's kind of similar in the sense that the things that they did are a little bit more.
They're not legal. Both the things they did still you can't do.
But Pete Rose bet on like his team to win.
You can't do that still.
Yeah, but in terms of the MLB, right? Saying that,
Yeah.
but betting has become legal, is what I mean.
Yeah, but I still think this guy in the NBA, what's his name, just got banned
Right.
for life
Right.
for betting on basketball. Like
Right.
that rule for betting on the sport that you're playing is not going to change.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
There's a couple golfers that got screwed. I think they're Corn Ferry Tour golfers, and they got banned for a year, which is devastating when you're on the Corn Ferry Tour, obviously, for betting on like Scottie Scheffler to win
Right.
like the
Not
tour
even his
championship or
tour.
something. Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now I get it's cool, but like there's a lot of people that were kind of raising hell about that. That one seems a little ridiculous.
Right.
Like these guys are playing in fucking the Wichita Open,
Right.
and they're trying to get it out, and Scotty's playing in the Masters or whatever, and they bet on him to win. It's like,
The Reggie one's interesting because it really. I'm glad it happened
no,
because
you know what they bet on
No, go
like
ahead.
the match, like they bet on
Oh,
like Homa and Rory like
Son.
out there at the park,
The park. yeah.
playing under the lights. Like they legit bet like $5 on that.
the Reggie one's interesting because it changes a lot for him because now he gets to stand up on that stage every year when they do the Heisman. But for everybody else, it's like when they vacate wins. I don't.
Yeah.
Reggie Bush to me, my whole life has been a Heisman winner. Dude is incredible. I don't care that what did he get, like an Escalade or something? They gave him an
Right,
Escalade
sure.
or something. But he's just because they physically took the trophy away from him. Nobody that I know is like, oh yeah, I actually don't consider Reggie Bush a Heisman winner anymore.
It is a weird thing that they do that distinction. Like technically, we don't. It's like no, we all were there.
I watched
We
it.
watched the ceremony when it happened. We all just consider that done forever. By the way, the Breaking 90 logo hats are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Frankie's wearing one right
It's a
now.
high crown, but I like it.
Oh,
It's
that
really
one,
good.
That one looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks you said that yesterday. He looks good on you.
Yeah.
Those aren't on sale yet, but they will be.
Yep.
Coming.
They're great.
Yeah.
Different colors.
A+ logo.
That
It's breaking through the 90.
Yep.
It's the best logo.
sure
ever.
is like strike through text. Right
It's
through there.
incredible.
Right through it.
Shout out to we got the small clean logo on the side.
Yep.
Always a little bit irks me when we do the big one.
Yeah,
when
that is smaller, isn't it?
When the logo on the side's like bigger than the logo on the front.
No, they nailed this one. And
really
Breaking
good.
90's coming back. We've got a lot of videos coming out. Obviously, the important tournament just came out yesterday. Part 2 will come out next week. Then Bob Does Sports Week will come out. We're going to be on Bob Does Sports channel, I'm pretty sure, next week. Do you have something to say about that?
I was just say we also have Minwoo side gig as well.
Minwoo side.
Minwoo Lee.
Minwoo side. Minwoo side gig will be coming out as well.
Side woo. Did you know you can get tickets tomorrow night in Phoenix for Bill Burr? $71.
Wow, Bill
on
Burr, man.
Game Time, baby.
I saw Bill Burr in Madison Square Garden. He was phenomenal. He had the place hooting and hollering.
I've never seen him in person.
Oh, he was
I've never
so
seen him in
funny.
person
He just pushes the envelope in person, man.
Awesome.
A lot of people just going, ooh. And he's like, oh, why? He's going crazy. But great on Game Time. You know, you can get into the Islanders playoff game tomorrow night. You know, Game Time.
We love Game Time. They are the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Finding tickets for less has never been easier. You shouldn't have to worry when you buy tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all of the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. Flash deals for sudden discount, zone deals for when you're feeling flexible. So get involved again. You can go see Bill Burr tomorrow night. I guess this is tonight when you're listening to this in Phoenix. For just $71. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use the code FORE, F-O-R-E, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed.
Man, what do you think Brennan's doing down there with that water? You know? How long have we been going?
We've been going for, what, 20
18
minutes?
37
18
seconds.
real minutes.
Yeah.
And I asked him pretty genuinely. I was like, dude, before you go out and get all the coffees and stuff, can you just bring up a
You
cup
asked
of water?
him like a guy crawling through the desert.
And he goes, yeah, no problem.
He might not have made it to the elevator yet. He's
What's gonna?
chit-chatting.
He's also getting us coffee, which is gonna
Here he
make
is.
you mad.
Oh, no. That was mean.
He's
He
getting
opened the door.
coffee
What
first.
did you think he was
Just like waiting outside.
I was just looking to see if he was walking this way. I
What
don't know.
do you think he's doing?
walk this way?
I don't know. Well, he's getting us coffee.
But I asked him to bring up the water first.
Come on, brother. That ain't happening. You texting him
How about that water? Is that what you're texting him?
or just what's? Are you
FaceTime
calling him?
Wow. Look at the other end of that. Him seeing that is very funny.
Hey, dude. How's that water delivery coming?
It's a grind.
What?
Don't have any down.
They have no water at this hotel? You gotta be kidding me.
It's a tough break.
Are you in your room?
I just got back from my room. I have to leave the building now.
Oh, so you're not. They don't have a single water bottle down there. Anything.
We're trying, bro.
All right. Oh, all right.
I knew
bro.
that the coffees were gonna come up.
That's a nightmare. And I know people will be like, "Why don't you just drink out of the sink?" I've been too hard on sink drinkers my whole life to get to that sink and drink out of that right now. No matter how desperate I am, I'll die. I'll die.
Wait.
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
Just remember.
What is this, like Dumb
He's
and
went into the
Dumber?
refrigerator and he's got
Yeah.
a body armor. You gotta be kidding me.
It's like
Oh my god. A body armor, super drink, orange mango, 0 sugar.
that's like that's like Dumb and Dumber. Hey, it's the Rockies.
2 pairs of gloves this whole time? Yeah, it's the Rocky.
It's the Rockies. People are gonna think we set that up for an ad. No, that was just.
I just
Frankie.
looked at the list, too.
literally
They're not
just
even on the
remembered.
list this week.
All right,
Wow.
back to
Okay.
life a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get into the other stuff first. Real quick, the New York Islanders just ripped my fucking heart out the other day.
That's right.
Yep.
We recorded before that game.
Yes.
Talk about it.
I don't really know if there's much to say. How much there is to
Talk
say.
about it. We got in the car yesterday to go to the park in West Palm, which is awesome.
It is
as we
awesome.
know. You've seen it on TV probably if you're listening. We've played it before and played it again. Awesome. And we got into the car and he said, "No Islanders talk." That's an official rule.
He said we're done with that.
He said, "We're done with that. It's an official rule in the car. We're not talking about the Islanders."
It's the worst experience I've ever had watching sports.
3 minutes in, we started talking about the Islanders in the car. By the way,
Yeah, you have
Just
to.
it's tough. I've
Gotta get
gone
it off the
I've
chest
gone
there.
viral for being the face of losing in the National Hockey League.
what did Dave Portnoy say to you? He texted you.
He goes, "I can't stop watching you lose." That's what he wrote. I've watched it 1,000 times. He tweeted about it. 11 times, I think, over 2
Yes.
days. Instagram, it went on the main Instagram. I'm getting messages that it's going completely viral on TikTok.
He's a sick bastard. He loves when horrible things happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because that's the 5th year that we've been at Borelli's watching streams. The first year was like 2019, I believe it was, 2020. During COVID, me and my dad just went to Borelli's. We started the streams. Obviously, the electric chairs have always been a thing at Barstool. I just thought it was such a funny scene to do one. No one told me to do it. I just did it on my own Twitter. I was like on a laptop during COVID. The restaurant was closed. So I said, Dad, let's go to Borelli's instead of watching it at home. It'd be funny. You got the Manja sign behind you. We do the whole, 2 Eastern Conference runs in a row. It becomes this huge thing. 500 people showing up during the Bruins series. We've got the Islanders coming afterwards. All the wives were watching it at the games. It was a huge phenomenon on Long Island. It was like you had to go to Borelli's, excuse me, to watch these playoff games. And now it's the 5th year doing it. They've made the playoffs 5 times out of the last 6 years. Shout out Lou Lamorelli. You've got this franchise back, but now they're a little bit older and they don't have that oomph anymore. You don't think people are going to show up, and like hundreds of people showed up for this one the other night, and we're right back. Like, I didn't think it'd ever happen again. Like, each year you think it's your last one, and we're in the midst of this game. My dad shows up with his heart pillow. It's his first time being in public since getting heart surgery 2 weeks prior.
Crazy. We're gonna look back on this and be like, I can't believe he stepped into that restaurant.
I was never keeping him out of that restaurant. He had to come see the people.
I know.
Everyone gave him a standing ovation when he walked in. He's crying.
He's the best.
He's the best.
But we got to keep that. 13 days ago, this man had his chest opened up.
Correct.
I tweeted it, but it was very funny. Him holding the pill like a quarterback wearing a red shirt in practice. Just like nobody. Just don't celebrate too hard. I'm excited, but don't celebrate with me.
It's just the scene. So the only reason I'm bringing up the history is like the scene is funny. Like, and I know why Dave's obsessed with it. It's insane. Like, you got a bunch of insane people in an Italian restaurant watching the first round of a hockey game, and we're losing our minds. And it's always rip your heart out misery. It's not just like you lose a game. Like, the Islanders were up 3-0 late in the second period. Late. Varlamov trips that guy in front of the net like an idiot. Did you see that penalty?
No.
They're up 3-0, and they're peppering us. At that point, the Islanders had 1 shot on goal to their 30 in the last 30 minutes of the game.
I wasn't watching the entire thing, but we had it on kind of in the background, and I pulled up the thing because I always kind of judge shots like how is this game really going. God. I have never seen something like that in my life. They had 12 shots on goal total, and from what it looked like, it was all of them were in the first 10 minutes of the game.
The O-zone, the offensive zone possession time was 35 minutes to 5. Dude, they had a 30-minute power play. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Having 1 shot on goal in the third period
when you're up 3-1.
It's unimaginable.
1 shot. Dude, it was just survive. They were just surviving. But anyway, the thing that really started it was Varlamov just took his stick and put it underneath the guy in front of him and just tripped him. And they gave the goalie a 2-minute tripping penalty, and it just set it off.
Yeah,
it gave them life. It was 3-0 at the time. Islanders were playing good. Brendan's here with the waters, but we already got it, which is huge. We're all good, brother. Oh, you got even more water.
Armfuls of water.
We found one.
Ooh, those look cold.
You're the man. Where the hell did you get these things? You got these outside of this hotel?
They're doing construction downstairs at the little pantry thing, so nobody was in there, and I'm like, fuck. Now I have to go upstairs, put my shoes on, look like a human to go outside and get these waters.
Got it.
And then I went back down, and it was open.
Oh.
So I got lucky.
Beautiful.
That's where I got these body armors.
Body armor water.
Thank
you very much, Brendan. That's huge.
Dude, they got the zero sugars down there, too. I'm going to load up for this fucking
You
shoot.
gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. No, I don't have
Body
to.
armor's taking over the world.
Thank
so
you, Brendan.
anyway, whatever. We all saw it. If you didn't see it, it's all over the fucking place. They got their heart ripped out. It is what it is. My dad left after the first period. He gives everyone a very slow wave. They're up 3-0. He's like, I'm getting out of here. And I looked in the camera. I said, I hope that's not a jinx. And they lost. They lost the game. They gave up 2 goals in legit 9 seconds of playing time, a minute of real time. And yeah, it is what it is.
So did you not see, because the replay, and I know Dave tweeted a little bit of context, they scored their 3rd goal.
Yeah.
They're probably showing the replay of what happened.
Yes.
And the 4th goal happened.
So they're showing it. And to be honest, I looked down at my phone because Ryan Whitney had texted me being like, there's no fucking way the Islanders are about to blow this game. And I read that after the 3-3. You could see me look down, and I read it, and then I look up, and they had just come back from whatever replay, and then he's behind the net. He puts it right in immediately. Knock stops him behind the net, gets the puck, puts it in on a wraparound, and I'm like, there's a split second where I'm like, what just happened? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way that's real, and that's not like another replay. That was a tough moment. Yeah, they lost. They fucking lost. Carolina's the better team. We knew that going in. They never should have even been up 3-0. The stats, you're laughing at the stats. The stats are preposterous. Alex is looking at the stats. It's the craziest.
I'd never seen it like that in my life.
It's the craziest statistical
They also had
lopsided game you've ever seen.
36 block shots. So
No, the Carolina Hurricanes had like 120 shot attempts to the Islanders 20.
You guys were just hanging on.
Bro, in the second period, there was a point where they were ripping shots so much that I thought I was gonna have like an aneurysm. I was like sitting there being like, and Dobson like stopped one like on an empty net, and we're like, how are we surviving? It felt like 300 where all the arrows are coming at you. And it's just at some point you're gonna get hit.
Fuck.
And they got hit. They got hit hard.
2-0.
And yep. And at the end, you know, the Islanders got a little bitchy. They started fighting everyone, and it was just a tough look. It's a tough game. They're frustrated.
It's 2-0.
It's down 2-0. Carolina fans are all over me, and they should be. You know,
Rooting for a hurricane.
Fucking
Talk about that.
just a disaster, a natural disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine rooting for that.
Yeah, that's your only hope,
Right.
I mean, it's fucked up, but I get it.
You shouldn't be rooting for natural disasters. I got no skin in the game. I'm just saying.
I don't either.
You root for the Blues. You root for the Cardinals. You root for.
He roots for a jazz note. It's great.
Awesome.
It is a cool note. The Blue Notes.
Right. Cardinals. Great bird.
Right now, yeah, iconic. Right now, 11 World Series, despite the fact we're a middle market team.
It's true.
Right now, I'm rooting on the Dallas Stars and the Boston Bruins. Those are my two teams I got futures on to win the Stanley Cup.
Bears in space.
Yep.
Totally fine.
That's right. Totally clear.
Space a little sketchy, but still fun.
Yeah, it's getting more sketchy.
It's getting bigger and smaller at the same time, I think, something like that. So
Yes.
we don't really know what's going on, but it's not a hurricane.
Endless. Wow.
Summer is all about the freedom to have fun. You do not have to necessarily blow your budget on a trip to make the most out of it. Forget a vacation and take a tequila-cation with our new Truly tequila sodas. These were just flowing in Arizona. It was about 93 degrees out in Arizona on Monday. Out at the classic Saguaro course. We're out in the desert. There's no homes around. You're kind of on the side of a mountain. People were just crushing these tequila sodas. They're fantastic.
A couple of Stoolies found us out at the RBC with tequila soda Trulies.
That's right.
And we shotgunned them in front
shotgunned
of
them.
billionaire Stan Smith.
Yeah, Stan Smith had no idea what to take. He didn't know what was happening. He's like, oh, I guess that's like your guys' type of golf. I said, that's right, Stan
That's
Smith.
right. These Stoolies came out of nowhere and they were like, we got these. You want to shotgun them? And we were like,
They came in 100 miles an hour, too. They were Trulies and they were great.
This refreshing blend of real fruit juice from concentrate, sparkling water, and premium tequila blanco is the drink of the summer. Try all 4 refreshing flavors: lime, pineapple, guava, grapefruit, and watermelon, all with 5% ABV and just 100 calories. Take a tequila-cation with new Truly Tequila Soda today. Truly Tequila Soda. Keep it light. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, Boston, Massachusetts. Please drink responsibly.
how many people has space actually killed?
Space?
Yeah. Like it's low number, right?
Yeah.
The pursuit of space, I feel like, has killed more people than you'd think.
True.
But
That's probably
still-
on, is that on their tab? It probably is.
Yes, but
Right.
still
If you're
not.
getting into a rocket trying to go up there, they're going to claim that one.
Challenger.
Yep.
But
I was saying I don't want to. I was
compared
saying
to hurricanes,
Well,
Oh, it's not
I
close.
mean,
I would say the
fraction.
I would say Hurricanes are the number one team disaster that have killed the most people.
yeah, Colorado Avalanche not up there. I mean, Avalanche kills people, but not as many as I don't think Hurricanes.
No.
what are all the natural disaster professional sports
is-
teams? Are there tornadoes? No,
Maybe minor teams.
the lightning, but that's not a natural disaster.
it's weather.
It's weather related for sure.
Lightning can't be in the near hurricane.
Is there another weather related natural weather related team?
Let's go through the natural disasters. That seems like an easier way to do it.
Typhoon?
Okay, tidal wave,
Yeah.
No.
earthquake.
Earthquake. Oh, there's got to be like a Quakers.
Yeah, the Quakers. Or
Yeah, but
something.
those are like Quakers, like from the old days.
The guy like on the side of oatmeal.
Yes,
Right.
Um,
Benjamin Franklin, was he a Quaker?
it looks like one.
I think he might have been.
I think he's on the logo.
Colorado
Like,
Avalanche.
Yep, we said that.
Said
Oh,
that
you
one.
did?
Already said that, you idiot.
Blizzard? Are there blizzards?
Ooh, there's a blizzard
Iowa
at
State.
fucking Dairy Queen.
Iowa
I'll tell you
State,
that.
what?
Cyclones.
Ooh, the
How did I not think of that?
San Jose Earthquakes.
What is that, like a minor
San
league team?
Jose.
It's got to be a minor league team, and then like University of Miami Hurricanes as well.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, I get that they're taking ownership of something that they have to deal with. You know, Miami and
That's what
Carolina
that's what
are
Iowa State
quite
does.
literally like the hurricane capitals of this country, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's like, all right, we get to say it because we're the ones actually getting bombarded by these things, so we're just gonna take ownership of it.
That is what Iowa State Cyclones, because that's tornadoes.
Oh, wait, OKC Thunder.
Thunder.
Thunder. A lot of bark, no bite
It's
there.
it counts. That counts.
Thunder,
just a
scary.
noise.
Probably not
So
killing
true.
people.
It's just a loud noise, dude. It's not even that sharp.
Maybe
It's
an
like
old dog.
Right. Boom. Couple of 98-year-old ladies and old men, but
Some
like
old guy just sitting on his recliner hits a big boom and just
that's true though.
jumps, thinks that he's in war or something.
Oh god, flooding. There's no flooding.
Floods.
Miami Heat. Does that count?
Ooh, heat.
Oh, heat's up there, and you could argue heat. You know, people that just
Kills people.
but yeah,
Historically.
in a lot of different ways.
Historically.
Yeah, historically, it's a
Yeah,
massive killer.
that's
Yeah,
interesting.
interesting.
But I also have, like, all the naturals, I guess, have been around forever, right? Like, dude, when hurricanes, when they
I
had
root
no
for
warning-
a landmass. I root for I guess the North, the Yankees.
Okay.
I root for right? That's right.
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
guess it's not. Is that what it technically is?
The Yankees, like the New York, the North Yankees. Is that right?
Yeah, you root for almost like a.
But you're not. You're rooting for the Union.
No, but I mean, that name is coming from that. Is that not?
I actually don't know.
I think it has to be. It's not the candle,
right.
you know. I think it's.
You know what? Look up the history of the name of the New York Yankees.
You're rooting for
I
like
bet she dates one of the
like
Yankees.
a regional type
Probably.
of person, right?
Yeah, I guess it is probably just like a northern person.
Yeah.
Northern, like American person.
And the Knickerbockers, I got no clue. Is that like pants?
Mm-hmm.
Your Knickerbockers?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, what are the Knicks?
They're the Knickerbockers.
Yeah,
that's
but
their actual full name.
I know.
Which is a very cool name.
And then the Jets, just a jet.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it to yourself.
I'm just saying
Yeah,
plane.
yeah.
I'm saying plane crashes.
Yeah, I know.
All
I
right.
know. Yeah, I know.
It is fun to go
Things
through
go down a lot.
to go through like team names and like get down to like what they really are, and then decide whether or not people should be rooting for them or not.
It's interesting because the Utah hockey team is going through this right now. They don't know what they're going to name the team.
I saw this, and they're gonna do a bracket. I
So
saw him on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, he
the
said he's
owner.
going to do a bracket. And everyone on the show was like, "Oh,
McAfee
don't
said it's the
do
worst
that."
idea ever. He's like, why? Why? He's just like, pick a name.
Utah's getting a hockey team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
The
Arizona Coyotes.
are moving.
Oh, how's Biz feel about that?
Our very own business. He got very emotional on TNT
Right.
talking about it.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Damn, I didn't know that.
very emotional. So it's a little bit tricky. The guys that own the franchise in Arizona have 5 years to establish funding and a plan for a new rink and facilities in Arizona. And if they do, they'll allow them to reestablish the franchise.
Okay.
But as of now, they were forced to basically sell all of the assets to this now Utah team.
Now wait a minute now. So I debated with one of my buddies about this. I called him a fucking moron, my buddy Andrew. So if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. That's true.
True.
So Arizona can take back the Utah team. Why would they be?
No, I don't think it's a take back, but
Okay.
I think you have to go through a bunch of crazy shit to get approval to have a franchise team, right?
This is what the
And
NHL
so-
and all these leagues do to these poor cities that like the Islanders when we had to deal with this bullshit and they kept saying we might come back to the Coliseum. It's like, stop lying to the people. They're not. Like, they're gone from Arizona, dude. Like, they're going to have to be a new expansion team and restart their whole franchise because they're
Which
not getting
might be
the
better.
players
It kinda
back.
suck. But you're right. I mean, I think it's kind of fucked. Like, there's a lot of opinions, theories, conspiracies about like the NHL was sort of kind of like running the process in a way where they wanted the team to go to Utah.
Right.
And they wanted things to not work
Strong-arming
out
it
the way.
there.
Yeah, and like different land deals. They were going to do it in Scottsdale, but everybody in Scottsdale that's connected knows that like that wasn't going to get approved by the HOAs or whoever in that area that they're trying to get it approved in Scottsdale because of traffic. So then they had like something came out on the ESPN, like even ESPN main Instagram put something out a couple of weeks ago that was like Arizona approved for Scottsdale move and this whole facility, remember? And everyone's like, oh, that was just a decoy, people that knew, because that's actually not going to work. This is going to get shut down. It did. And then because that got shut down or whatever all the intricacies are of it, then they're like, oh, we got to now go to Utah. And they're like, well, they just wanted to go to fucking Utah the whole time. And so it is sketchy, but they're forced to sell off everything. So like all the player operations, all the roster, all their prospects are all now part of the Utah team.
They bought them. Like they bought the rights to them. So they now,
Is Utah getting a team no matter what? Or if
Done.
whatever happens, if the Arizona pulls them back, Utah still gets a team?
I think
Done.
this is Utah's team.
Utah's team now. So if Arizona
Okay.
gets a reinstatement, it would be with
an
a
expansion
they'd
team.
basically be an expansion.
That's what I was asking.
But they retain
Which in
like the
30
rights.
years, you know how like you like to go back in the history of a team where they all came from? You ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
Where like the New Jersey Devils actually came from, I think it was like Colorado originally, like that logo, and then they went over there. I could be
Like the
completely
Utah
wrong
Jazz,
about
I think,
that.
were originally New Orleans. That's why it's
right,
Jazz.
right. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
There's who is
The
it?
Hornets.
There's the Lakers are also, they were Minnesota. And they got moved to L.A. Something deep going on in that brain right now.
Alex, can you just look up, because I may have just said that wrong. The Devils, I think, have some sort of history with Colorado. Because they wear that
They
logo.
do too. They have the old school one that's almost like the Colorado State logo, right?
Yes.
The now Devils or
Yes.
the old? Okay.
The now. Say the history.
The now Devil.
The Devils. Did the Devils like franchise? Did they come from Colorado?
Yeah. Kansas City Scouts from 74 to 76, then Colorado Rockies.
Colorado Rockies,
76
and then the
to
New Jersey
82,
Devils.
and then New Jersey Devils.
See, this is what I mean. And then the Arizona, when you look at them, if they get a team back, it's gonna be like, all right, we were whatever. We weren't a team. We were an expansion team in Arizona. Then we were the Utah Jazz for a second, and then we weren't a team. And now we're gonna be the Arizona Coyotes again. But it's a whole new franchise.
It's like the Browns. The Browns left. They were the Browns. They left and went to Baltimore, and now they're the Browns again. But it's
now,
a different team.
Do they own that history of the
They
first
claim
section
it,
of
but
Browns?
I don't know. Like people debate on that, but they claim it, even though it's a different team.
Like, let's say you get a win. Let's say the Arizona Coyotes come back in 5 years, and they're in Arizona, and they get that first win. Is that the first win in franchise history, or is it
With
a
the same
Yeah, yeah.
No.
That's a really good question.
I
I don't
think they
know.
own the history.
Do they?
But it's not their team.
It's not their team.
They
It's
moved,
like a whole
and they're a
new
brand new team.
Totally
but like
new
the
team.
Cleveland Browns
Whole new team.
claim
New-
their
like everything.
old
Right, like
Super Bowls.
Let's
but
say
it's
they
not their
have
team.
like some equipment manager's been there for 22 years. That guy's now just
In Utah.
he's on the Utah team.
Right.
Yeah. There's not much connective tissue there for them to claim that it's their
No.
history.
But
But
interesting.
But I saw Biz and the Chicklets guys, and where they were all debating whether it's a huge focus for this team now to get their name and all that down now, or should they just be focused on other stuff because they're going to be in the NHL draft, the Utah team, this summer.
Right.
So they're like,
Oh, they're gonna come up with this name within like a week. I feel like.
well, they were kind of debating. They were like, Biz was like, I think they shouldn't focus on that at all. They should focus on there's much more important stuff. And Whit was like, they can't come up with a name and focus on who they're going to draft on over the next
you can do
several months.
both.
Also, like, it might be crazy to say, but like to get free agents and everything, don't you just want to have everything in place? Like, if you're trying to sign a guy to your new Utah team, like, don't you want them to know like who they're playing for, what the team name is, what the logo is going to be, the colors? That plays a big role. I
think
feel
Biz's point was like the Kraken did it so well, and theirs crushes it, and the mascot, and them and the Gritty's the guy in Philly.
Yeah.
He was talking a lot about how like those two are so effective, and especially with the Kraken, the new team, that if you don't have one that pops and right away, like it's worth it to really nail it because it changes your whole franchise.
what are a few names that are getting thrown out there? Do we know any?
The Soakers, the Utah Soakers,
Okay. Interesting. That'd be an interesting one.
the Utah.
Are there anyone? Any of them?
Well, Alex is looking it up.
I feel like we'd be
I'm gonna tell you what, they're gonna do a lot of. There's a lot of non-golf talk, which I love. It's great to like kind of talk sports like this. There's a lot of renovations that's gonna happen to that arena, but for the first couple of years, it's gonna be a nightmare to watch hockey in that place.
There's some
It's
natural
similar-
disaster names.
Are there really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Storm,
okay.
Flurry.
These
I
are
guess that's
these
not
are
really-
disasters. Yep. Blizzard.
Blizzard.
The Utah Blizzards. Doesn't hit.
reminds me of Dairy Queen.
Yep. Ice cream. I saw the Utah. I saw the Salt Lake City Stags, which I kind of liked.
I like that.
But I don't think that Salt Lake City owns the team. It's Utah that owns the team. They were saying so. Another team can't go to Utah. Like, they own the market.
Okay,
gotcha. It's not going to be like New York, where it's like it is like New York. New York's the market. It's not the Manhattan Rangers and it's not the Long Island Islanders. It's the New York Islanders. I think other teams could go there, play in one in Salt Lake City, another one wherever.
I will say I kind of prefer the name Manhattan Rangers, by the way.
Right?
That's a sick name.
It is a sick name.
It actually is.
Utah
Flurry is kind of sweet.
Utah Flurry? No, it sounds like a fucking WNBA team.
It does.
That's crazy. Well, I'm just saying.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. It just doesn't sound like a.
There's something wrong with it.
No, all right. It sounds like a single A baseball team. The Utah Flurries. Come on.
No, not flurries.
Just one flurry.
Just one. Not flurries.
Just a general flurry.
Just the L in there. Like, you almost want it to be Fury. Like, the flurry is just like, woo. You know, like a flurry of snow hits you and you're like,
Sure, if you're going snow, you got to go blizzard.
Yeah.
Right.
The flurries are coming to town.
Right.
Like, oh, Jesus. Throw on your windshield wipers. You know? I'm not even throwing salt down today.
If you go storm, you don't go drizzle.
No.
It's the Utah raindrops.
Yeah, it's
right.
the Utah sun showers.
Right. All right, I got it.
A flurry go up against the Avalanche, and they're just like, oh
God,
Jesus.
That's something you got to think about. Like, who's in their division and what kind of natural disasters are they going up against? You know, the Utah fucking.
See, this is all the focus that they gotta have.
They got to focus on those draft picks.
I would assume it's going to be something to do with the cold climate. I would anticipate
the Utah freeze. You hate it.
I think it's got to be like a thing, you know, like an animal.
Those
work?
What's the big snowy like?
The Yetis.
Yetis.
The Utah Yetis.
That's a good one.
Don't hate that.
Oh, it's in here.
Is it?
Yep. Utah. Look at that like fake logo here.
That. You got the logo? Zoom in on that bitch. Wow. All right. It's a Yeti though.
My official vote is Utah Yetis.
Yetis is great.
Utah Yetis. Kind of goes too. Like off the tongue.
Kind of feels like it's already a team, which is the feel you want.
The Diamonds, no.
Utah Squall.
The Raptors, no chance.
Rattlers,
The
Raptors. Mountaineers.
Dude, the Utah Storm I could see too.
Is this just a general?
This is like just a bunch of
just people saying what
it's all
the Yetis
like
is pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
I'd buy a Utah Yetis hoodie,
and you can make a sick logo with like just the eyes. You know, like it's like a Yeti in the dark almost, and it's just like the yellow eyes.
I legit, when we went to Bandon a few years ago, it was right when the Kraken had come out, and I remember going to the Seattle airport, and if they weren't in the Western Conference, I was going to buy a Seattle Kraken something because their shirt was
That's
so
an all-time
sick.
name.
So sick.
They did nail that. They nailed that.
Yeah.
Because even if the Kraken was in Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's just like that name is like cool. It's like on the ocean, and it's like
mysterious.
You're like seeing fog and like heavy like waves crashing. It's the Kraken. Like that's fucking.
They nailed that.
They nailed it, man. And their
so
arena's
good.
sick. But yeah, what I was saying in Utah, it's a basketball court is 100 feet. And a hockey rink is 205 feet, I think it is. So when you add that extra 50 feet on either side of the rink of the basketball court, everything that you've had in place in concrete, like for perfect sight lines of the Utah Jazz games, now gets all fucked up because you're adding 50 feet on either side plus the width of it. So now at the Barclays Center, which were the dark days of the New York Islanders when they played in Brooklyn. Oh my God. Like, I don't even like to talk about that.
I went to a Blues game there.
It's
a disaster.
There was a part where they had to put all the seats that would have came from like the second level down to the basketball court up in a wall. So the Islanders had no fans behind there. And anyone that sat above that part in the second or third level, the ice would go underneath them, basically. So you would only see the blue line and up. And now what I'm seeing from renderings of what it's going to look like, and they've had hockey there before, maybe like minor league hockey, or like I think they had like a random like 2 NHL teams played there once. You can't see anything on either side. So behind the nets of this, behind the goals, you're not seeing a single like thing in the offensive zone. So that's going to suck until they renovate it.
That's going to be a shit show.
People are going to hate it. They hated the Barclays Center. They hated it so much.
Like that.
Exactly. But even worse, up top. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
All right, Utah Yetis.
The Utah Yetis. I saw an interesting tweet.
Okay.
James Corrigan Golf says that Tiger Woods will be notified today he's going to receive up to $100 million in equity from the PGA Tour, with Rory McIlroy, quote, benefiting possibly to the tune of $50 million.
Holy shit. Wait. So they're giving players equity now.
So, well, and I saw a few of the replies were like, so the guys that are on the policy board are enacting policy where they're going to get equity.
It could be a conflict of interest.
But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that anywhere else. It was from a hold on. It was from a very credible source. And then I'm looking like Front Office Sports has put it up everywhere. So yeah. $100 million, $100.
Basically $100 a little bit.
Yeah, true, fair.
Wow.
I know. So that's a little interesting.
That's nice. I mean, you would assume that all these groups that are, I mean, the Boston Fenway Sports Group that is now investing in the PGA Tour, they want to have the big names on board, and they're smart businessmen. You have to give people incentives to want to improve your product, and you got to think that whenever you have equity or anything in any business, you're going to get way more production and productivity from the people. And if you want Tiger Woods to be involved in your league, you got to throw him some cash.
Yeah, and Rory McIlroy forever.
Yeah,
which
Rory.
I mean, I know it seems like a lock right now, but yeah, you want those guys to be invested in the future and growth.
They tried to do it with Pip, which was more of a Band-Aid, it felt like. That was like, let's just give them something.
Totally.
Equity's different.
You don't have to
Equity
come
is
up with a formula to give these guys money. Just give them money.
right.
They earned
Equity is
it.
the real deal where it's like, you're important, so we're going to give you money.
Interesting timing too. Right after the quote unquote fake, live offer to Rory, now all of a sudden he's getting $250 million
He's also
PGA
going
Tour.
back on the board.
I saw that there's a lot of whispers that he's going back on the board.
I really thought, and I think he said this, it's like, you got too many balls in the air. Like, just play golf, have your investment up. He always talks about his investment portfolio. He's like, I'm busy with that, and that's why I'm not going to get into the politics of the PGA Tour and be on the board. That made sense to me, but it seems like he's putting it back on his plate.
Yeah, he in full swing. He was very talked a lot about too much in the air. He talked a lot about I don't know. I never was asked or anything by anybody to be the face of the PGA Tour, but I sort of made it happen subconsciously or almost accidentally, and now I find myself in this position where I am. And then he goes through, and obviously when he missed the cut last year at both, I think, the Players and the Masters, and eventually got to the point, and then the June 6th, and the whole deal, and now for him to go back on there, I feel like it's just the night a classic, like, I'm getting away from that, and then now that he's gotten away from it for a little bit, he's like, all right, I can go back on there now.
Might be. I'm glad he's on it. He's a smart guy.
There's always a reason.
Yeah.
Dude, we had a crazy talk with Rory McIlroy at the RBC Heritage.
Yeah, can we? We
talked about it last show, but it was it was insane. We talked to him for 20 minutes.
Him and Shane
on the putting green,
just about
just like life. It felt like they're, I don't know, it was just like regular shit. Like,
amazing.
What clubs they're putting in the bag?
Can he flush the ball anymore? Mini driver off the deck. Tommy Fleetwood. Asking us what we're doing out there, like the turnaround from the Masters. Are they tired? The travel.
Yeah,
crazy.
It was great.
Just shooting the shit.
And we were like, oh, have you played yet? He's like, oh, I played at 7. I worked out. Now I'm out here putting.
The Pro-Ams, is it hard to play? I was like, dude, I can't believe you guys play. I remember I asked, I was like, I can't believe you guys come out here and play with just regular people. And he's like, yeah, it's great. It's good. He's like, it's good. We get out there.
See the course.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, he's just.
And he's like, the sponsors, like, this is it. Like, this is huge. Like,
this is what they love.
Right.
It. Right.
He's like, when you want a $20 million purse, whatever it might be, at the end of
that CEO wants to play with Rory fucking McIlroy.
Yeah, he's like, that's exactly what he said. He's like, we have to do the work to get this to be an elevated event.
It's no different than us,
right?
And I mean, on some level, it's like, we're gonna go shake hands and shoot the shit.
Right.
Whoever.
The boys were laughing.
That's
what it was.
Smacking people.
We were like giving them those. Yeah. And it's not, people listening are like, these guys are such losers.
And we are losers because he's fucking Rory.
No, dude, a slap is a good laugh.
And I was saying to him on the show, not to repeat everything I said, but meeting those two together was cool.
Perfect environment.
Just Shane's
they can lean
great,
on each other a little bit,
and they're just like a cool Irish duo that I've been following for a long time.
Right.
And they're boys.
And Irish people were funny already.
Yeah. They're actually boys too, because he was like, we were talking about Tommy and Roy was like, oh, he's a flusher. And Roy was like, I used to be a flusher. And Shane was like, shut the fuck up. Like, you're Rory McIlroy.
Right.
You're a flusher, dude. You're like the guy.
Someone asked him if he hits it off the deck. Was that you? Or was it Shane?
That was you.
I said, do you hit it off the deck?
I think that was you.
That would be
I think I
incredible.
blacked
if
out.
it was
Might
you.
have been Shane.
Yeah. No, I think it was me.
I think it was too.
Because I said Tommy does it. He did it in
you.
Canada.
Frankie's like, somebody came up with a brilliant question.
Because that's when he said, no, I'm not a flusher. I said, oh, I think Tommy does. He goes, Tommy's a flusher.
Yes.
That's how it all happened.
He's like, I used to be. And we're like,
I used to be.
Good
Because
Lord.
Tommy will rip that burner off the deck. He did it in Canada when he was like charging.
Yeah.
Crushes it off the deck.
Crushes it.
That people love that burner, and I get it. That thing is amazing.
Speaking of
I've got it in the
TaylorMade
bag
clubs,
today.
You what?
I brought the burner. I don't have the
You have
copper
it.
one. I have the one from last year,
Oh wow.
but I have the burner in the bag.
I've got the coppers on the way to my house.
Let's go.
Yep.
Those are
the
insane.
They're in Lefty too, which is like shout out to Essie for like letting me know that because lefties get disrespected a lot, and you know all the coolest golf clubs come out, and they'll be and you know I'll get text messages. All my buddies are all lefty. It's crazy. When you play with me and
That
my
is
friends, we
wild.
got 4 guys. I have a rotation of 6 guys that can all play. They're all lefties. And every time there's a new really cool drop from TaylorMade, it's always like, oh my God, you just can't get. You can sometimes get like a variation of it, but you can't get the full one. Maybe like if they come up with a driving iron or whatever, it's like it's not in lefty, or it's like you can't get the
Right.
black version in lefty. Coppers are coming. Can't wait to see them. That old school like TaylorMade logo, the way it looks right there on the face. Oh, I love it.
Love it.
I love it. I
Do
love
they
it.
have the all blacks in lefty?
They do.
Okay.
For the 790s, they do.
Good.
Yep. I have got those. I have those untouched actually, which I think like at some point I might pull them out.
I'm excited to see the coppers in real life.
Mm-hmm.
They look
It'll be good.
insane on the Instagram.
But they're 770s, so it's my first time ever switching to them.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see.
Wow.
Yep, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we got a big match against Bob Does today.
Yep, we're running back the rematch.
3v3.
We've never done 3v3 though.
That's true.
We've always had some weird concoction. It was
Yep.
you were sick.
Yep.
Hannah Cook was there. JJ Watt jumped in as their fourth
Yep.
when we did, and that was just part 3 course. This is like
Pure.
Yes.
kind of our core OG 3, their core 3. Let's go.
The very first time we did it, it was the Hannah Cook one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
at that.
So we've never played them like with us 3 versus them 3.
No.
Never with Lurch either.
We did. I think the 4v4 on the par 3 course.
It was par 3 course. Okay.
So
Was
it's never
Lurch.
been like a yeah.
Right.
This is a real one.
Huge.
Real one.
Real one.
Gotta win.
Wish I wasn't hungover.
No, you'll be good.
We'll be
Dude,
fine
it'll
once we're
help
out
It might
there.
help you, man.
Once we're out there, we'll be fine.
Hungover
Focus
golf.
on not dying and just hitting a golf ball.
All right.
We got a couple from the gallery. Real quick.
Ooh.
Okay.
Presented
From the
by
gallery.
TaylorMade.
Brought to you by our great friends at TaylorMade. We were just talking about it a little bit, but the QI10, QI10 Max, QI10 LS, incredible. We're talking about Nelly and Scottie a lot the last few months. They're on really almost unprecedented, at least in the last generation, I feel like, run where there's just in the women's and men's game complete dominance by one player in each of those games, and they're both TaylorMade athletes. They're rocking the QI10, QI10 Max, QI10 LS. Go to TaylorMadeGolf.com. Make sure you try out a fitting. A fitting's huge. Get you the right club, right shaft, right lie, right everything. So yeah, go check it out. TaylorMade QI10, 10K inertia. The quest for 10K inertia. It's incredible. All right. This guy says, I don't have the name. On the Full Swing documentary, there was a quote that got me thinking during the Tom Kim episode. Watch out for the injured, sick golfer. They seem to take their mind off the game and just seem to play better. Do you think this is what we're seeing from Scottie right now? He's got his mind on the baby. After the birth, will he maybe revert back to his putting woes?
Interesting.
I just said 2
You
seconds
did.
ago, like because he's hungover, maybe he'll focus more on the golf. I think Scotty's here to stay. I don't know. I just think he did talk a lot about after he won the RBC during his press conference. He talked a lot about how his process and his like workouts leading up to these tournaments has never been better. That he feels like he's in a rhythm. That he is really, really preparing perfectly for these events. That's the part that's like a little bit. He's gonna have to do a lot of time management. His process and his preparation will change for sure going into the PGA Championship. There is no doubt about it. But I don't know, man. I don't think that guy can miss the center of the club face right now if he tried. I swear. He cannot miss the golf ball.
And it is a I know he's putting better now during this run than he was, but it's funny that like drive for show, putt for dough. We heard I think Brandel over the last several years has tried to like dismiss that. And I think that in a lot of ways that's proving to be like not true.
Right.
It is like if you just strike the ball better than everyone else, you'll just win.
Yep.
Or you'll at least play really, really good golf and almost win. And he's hitting it so goddamn good.
Yeah.
And he has been for a couple of years. It's a long run of him playing this well. It's the Brooks Koepka episode from last year's Full Swing where it's like, he's like, I bet that Scottie guy's not thinking about anything right now. And sure enough, Scottie's not thinking about anything with his golf swing. He's just out there absolutely pure in the ball. So I don't know that he's going to.
It is interesting about the drive for show, putt for dough, because if you think about the Masters, it's not like he putted great, but it's not like on Sunday he was lights out making like bombs. It was everyone else didn't hit the shots that they had to. On 11 and 12, the full swing shots went in the water or in the bushes, and he just struck the ball perfectly well, hit it exactly where he needed to, and he won the Masters by a lot. And that is, he wasn't canning them from all ranges. He was making some big ones. He made some eagles, and he made his move when he had to, but his ball striking won him the Masters.
It's true. It wasn't like making bombs. I mean, he made a few throughout the weekend.
For sure.
But when you really look down the stretch, and he still won by 4. When you look down the stretch, you're right. It's like on 11, he made bogey, missed like a makeable par putt. 12, he just 2-putted from however far. 13, he just 2-putted for birdie.
Exactly.
14, he hit it to an inch and like just tapped in for birdie. 16, he hit it to 10 feet or whatever, made that. But that's not like some crazy thing. So it's like,
it was the ball strike.
he's just hitting the ball, man.
Yeah.
He's just hitting the ball where you need to hit the ball.
At the RBC, I think he was close to like 80% fairways or something, because him and Nelly were right around the same in the same week with that QI10. It's crazy how well they're hitting that thing.
God, they're good. Colin says, here's one I'd like your guys' take on. I believe you should be able to hit a putt on the first green, not in the direction of your actual line, to get a feel for the green for the following reasons. You show up late, no practice green. Maybe the practice green is shit or not the same as the real green. You went to the bar before the round, you didn't putt. Some people think it's absolutely crazy, but I try to do this most rounds.
Wait, so what's he do?
Essentially hit a practice putt on the first green while you're in the middle of the round.
All this stuff, and I get people play matches for big money, and there's a lot on the line, and you want to beat people. But in general, I don't fucking care.
Do whatever you want.
You know what I mean? Like I get, again, like the big matches, and if you're like, you got a rivalry or whatever, you can kind of feel what you're getting into. But almost every time I'm out there, just do it.
Sure.
I don't care.
I think it's a pretty common thing to like putt on the side of the green after the first hole. Maybe after you missed your first one, right? Like you hit the green, you 2-putt, you make a bogey, and then like you're waiting for the guys to finish up, and you're talking with your friend. You're like, man, these things are fast, and you roll one. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, who gives a fuck? You're gonna be putting all day. Does it really matter?
Now, what if you do that before you putt? That's what he's saying. So you hit it on the green. You've got 20 feet for birdie.
Right.
And then you mark it, and then you go in the opposite direction 10 feet away, and you putt around for a second.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah. It depends on the type of match.
Yeah, and I think it depends on the.
Because a lot of things he explained for the reasoning is all his fault. Like he was late.
Yeah,
he didn't
yeah.
do anything.
Like, I went to the bar before.
Went to the bar. It's like, oh yeah, if you didn't want to putt, you didn't have to putt. But you also like can't do it now. We're on the golf course. I'm not doing it. You don't have to do it. If you're playing a match, we got to play a match.
Yeah.
If you're out there just playing golf by yourself, do whatever the hell you want. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. It is funny. It is like if we all showed up last minute, we're all just jump to the first tee and get out there. I don't think anybody gives a shit. But it's like a couple guys got there a half hour early, and they hit the putting green for 5 minutes, and then the other guy didn't, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to take a couple." You're like, "Well, I mean,
right
now you also could just be practicing like hitting your line, which is I don't know.
Right. I mean, if you're out there to play the game of golf, you got to like try and play it like that. You know what I mean? Right. Like that's you don't like take a bunch of right before your first wedge shot. You don't hit a bunch towards your cart, and then you hit your first chip shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let's just play the game if we're playing the game. Like,
there definitely, I think there has to be the standard is probably don't do it.
Right.
That should be the standard.
Yeah, I don't think you should do it.
Yeah.
You're out there, you're on the course now.
Yeah, I kind of lean that way too.
But I have done it after, like if I've rushed.
But I think also in a normal match play, that's fine on any green to do that.
Right. Like exactly.
To putt around after.
Yeah.
That's like fine.
That's fine.
Yeah. You do that in the fucking Ryder Cup.
Right. When you miss a putt, you pull it back, you do it again.
No problem.
Right.
Right. That is no problem. So yeah, you can't do it before.
Before
Hold the integrity of the first putt.
That's where I kind of see an issue with it of like practicing a putt. Even if you're just trying to get the speeds, you're still right before you hit an actual putt, hitting a putt.
Right.
That's like, you
Yeah.
kind of might find something in that stroke, being like, oh, I pulled that one.
No, you got to hold the integrity.
You're hitting a putt. And it's like, well, you don't get to like, I'm going to practice drivers real quick.
Right. Like I was saying, if I have a little flop shot over a bunker, I'm not like flopping a couple towards my cart to be like, all right, now I can feel it.
That'd be incredible.
I just need to feel the rough out here.
That'd be incredible.
But you take practice swings.
Take practice swings. You don't hit the golf ball.
That's
though.
true.
See how it pops out.
That's true.
I can take a couple practice putting strokes, no problem. Not hitting the ball.
Yeah. Right. I could see that being, but I could also see Trent being like, yeah, we're out here first hole, fuck around, give a fuck.
Yeah. Lurch is a big let's putt around the green and see the speeds. I feel like I've seen him do that a lot.
I think he likes that.
And he does it like mid conversation, so you really don't like understand what he's doing. Where like, can you believe these things? And like he's rolling it at you.
You're like, wow,
yeah,
it's big putt for the hole here.
Yeah.
Do we need to do closest to pin?
Yes.
Oh, smokes.
Did you get questions?
Nope.
Okay, I got them.
Fantastic.
Wow. Because then we got to go.
You texted a drunk individual last night.
I knew it. That's why I got them.
I didn't even see the text till this morning.
I've drank so much water that I'm like shivering. I'm cold.
Closest to pin brought to you by Fireball.
There you go. Shout out to it. Had a great day with it.
50 milliliter shooters. I know we already talked about it on the show, but they do bring they do closest to the pin, presented by Fireball Whiskey, iconic cinnamon. We're actually going to go to their distillery during the PGA Championship.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, we're going to go by there and check it out and hang.
Smell of cinnamon.
So, iconic cinnamon whiskey, 50 milliliter shooters, Fireball. Fantastic. Throw those bad boys in your bag. Have a great time like the guys did yesterday. We love Fireball whiskey. What do you got there, Bush?
All right, Alex.
Do we need a recap?
Do you want
here?
a quick update?
Yeah.
So the last one we did was, I believe it was Danny, his questions. So I'll just read these off quick. Joaquin Neiman's finishing position at Live, Miami. T9, Trent got 2 points.
Oh, right on.
Right on
the money.
Oh. This was back women's Final Four. Caitlin Clark's points during the Final Four weekend.
Yeah.
She finished with 51, and I said 54, so I won that.
Oh.
Well done.
Total runs during the Mets 3-game series versus the Reds. They finished with 12, and Trent got another 2 points.
Are you kidding me?
Whoa!
I'm from the future.
And then the last was Rory's final, scored a par at Valero. 11 under, I said 10 under.
Okay.
So
What
Trent
the
and
fuck did
took
I
points
say
at.
on any of these?
You got them all wrong.
Just wrong.
God.
Just
And
a
now
What
little
did I say on
wrong.
the Caitlin Clark one?
You said 58, so you were close. Not close enough. So
All right.
standings right now we
Fucking
have
goose
Alex is
egg from
killing
Rick.
me.
standings right now.
I got
Trent is leading the pack with 25.
Oh,
God.
Dan 19, Riggs 18, Frankie 14, Alex 8.
I'm the Scottie Scheffler of close.
Yes.
get him a jacket.
Unbeatable.
Just got a
So
jacket.
do we want to just kind of say them out loud? Scott's honor.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
need to do
yeah,
the texting.
So the first one, New York Islanders.
Fuck.
Game
Had to
3.
be.
I was gonna do penalty.
God.
I was gonna do penalty minutes, but
Do shots on goal.
yes. So shots on goal.
Fuck you.
Game 1, 34. Game 2, 12. They averaged 30.12 this season.
12. I'm not even a hockey guy. 12 is so bad.
Yeah, 12.
And
Not enough
and
shots.
They had 5
No
shots
joke.
in the last
3
2
goals,
periods.
too.
Well, right. And Trent, they had like out of those 12, I think 7 of them were in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yes.
So it was like the rest of the game.
Yeah,
they just
5 in periods 2 and 3.
That seems impossible.
I know.
And they should have won game 1. They definitely should have lost game 2. That's the most frustrating part. Game 1 was 1-1, and they were playing lights out.
yeah.
Tight, beating them in shots. It was 25-13 in shots in the third period. Like, we were rolling, and then they just...
Home ice, they're going to have some buzz here.
Yeah, we'll see.
I got a number.
Go.
Oh, we just.
Are we
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
go in order?
We should just all say them at the same time.
All right.
That's going to be tough.
3,
I know, but I just think it's the only safe way to do
Okay.
it.
3, 2, 1.
29.
26.
I said 29.
I said 28.
26.
Wait, what'd you say, Bush?
27.
We're all right
You can even cut out when we all say it, and then we'll all repeat it because now we're on record.
That's not a bad
Because
idea.
people are going to get confused.
What do you mean?
If you cut out when we all say it, because then it's on.
Oh, then they just hear it the next second.
Okay, all right.
They're just hearing it in real time.
Yep.
Just leave it all.
All right.
Oh,
All right,
So
26.
even this part we talked
Zurich
about.
Classic this week.
Yep.
Favorite right now in DK Sportsbook is Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantley
Oh, yeah, fuck.
at plus 400. So round 2 on Friday, alternate shot, birdies or better
From those two,
from those two.
Alternate shot.
Saturday. Friday.
Friday.
Okay.
We're doing it the same time again?
Wait, I gotta think about it.
There's 18 holes in a round of golf.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I got it.
So we're just number of birdies
Yeah.
Or better.
or better. That's important.
Birdies are better. Eagles,
Okay.
whatever, yes. 3, 2, 1.
5.
7.
4.
5.
I'm going to have to isolate each person.
What'd you say?
We're not cheating.
7.
Okay. No, we're not cheating. We're
Well, you
just saying
said
it.
7 too. You had the same philosophy.
I
You're
wrote
so
down
dumb.
6 when I did it, and I changed my mind right before I said it.
All right.
All right. NBA playoffs. Cavs, game 3. Donovan Mitchell's points. Game 1, he had 30. Game 2, 23. Average is 26.6 this year.
Speaking of the Knickerbockers,
Yeah.
that was an insane finish. That was happening at the same time as the Islander game, so I wasn't able to watch it. But people on the other side of Borelli's were going nuts.
Yeah.
Down 5.
Yeah, that was insane.
Hit the 3. Get the steal. Get the rebound. Hit the 3.
Miss the 3, get the rebound.
my
and then
God.
Hit it. Yeah.
Crazy.
You cannot win that game down 5 with how many seconds left? Like 19. Wow. Okay, so how many points for Donovan Mitchell? you
Donovan
saying?
Mitchell in game 3.
Okay. All right, I got mine.
3, 2, 1.
27.
What'd you say?
27.
I said 26.
28.
31.
Okay.
Yes. Just a low score.
What'd you
game.
say,
All right.
Logan?
I said 28.
Oh, I'd rather be Frankie right now.
Yep.
Last one, NFL draft this week.
Yep.
Holy shit.
That's nuts.
A lot of the mock drafts have pretty
Mock
much
drafts.
Mock drafts. A lot of mock drafts have first 3 quarterbacks going pretty much 1, 2, 3 or close to that. The draft selection for the 4th quarterback selected, because a lot of people are saying like 4 quarterbacks round 1. So,
Okay.
which right now is
Oh, wow.
probably going to be JJ
I wish I
McCarthy.
could look. I wish I could look. Yeah,
So-
no.
So you're
right
saying
now,
it's got to be
so earlier,
four,
JJ McCarthy,
earlier
4 through 30. Or
Like
Right.
Where are the New York
few
Giants
months-
picking?
the Giants. I can look that up real quick.
Well,
But earlier this like month ago, so he was pretty much mocked around 10 to 15.
Yeah.
And now he's mocked
I'm
like 4 or
wondering
5.
if the
so.
Giants are going to go with Daniel Jones
I can
forever.
look
If
up
they're
real
going to go
quick
after
the
like a JJ McCarthy.
2024 draft.
No, I don't have to look that up. I feel like that's too much information.
I feel like
guess
it's
I'll-
more fun if you just guess a number
Yeah, I'm just going to guess.
without even knowing the team.
I don't
Okay.
know I don't know anything about the teams.
Same.
All right, so the
I'm
first
ready.
3. I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
14.
7th. You said 9th.
I said 4.
I said 9th.
Oh, I said
I
7th.
said
ninth.
I
I
said
said 4.
14th.
I said 7th.
Okay.
I probably picked like the Jets, and which is just not what they're going to
No, I'm
I
like,
should though.
Aaron Rodgers is going to play this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many games?
Bonus
21?
close to the pin.
Like how many is he going to play?
21 or how many do you need for the Super Bowl? 20, 21,
He doesn't play
I
over
don't know.
12.
17 regular season.
and
It depends on where you're
maybe
at.
get a bye. 3,
You get a
20.
bye.
Got to make
20.
the playoffs
Dominant.
first.
The dominant New York Jets.
20 games.
12.
20 we'll say.
Okay.
How many playoff games is Josh Allen going to play this year?
1.
3.
Yeah, okay.
This would be the 1 seed, so 3.
We'll see about that.
I want everybody to know I'm considering putting money on Scottie Scheffler to win the Grand Slam.
Wow.
40 to 1 on DraftKings Sports.
I saw that.
Wow.
40 to 1. And I think that if you get through the PGA, you probably could find yourself in some hedge potentials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it's like a 2-man race down the stretch at either of the next 2 majors, you could take the other guy.
If you're ever going to do it, it's now.
Man, that would
If
be
on a
incredible.
guy, it's him.
Plus, like
So
that,
many good golfers out there, but man, it would
He
be,
beats them all.
I know.
Except Steven Yeager.
plus that historic run to be the
Jägerbomb.
guy that had like money on him to do it.
Oh yeah.
That would be fun. It'd be worth it for that. Who came closest? Probably Spieth in 2015.
Yeah, he won the first 2, and then he almost won the next 2. Yep. Yeah, because even when Tiger had his Tiger Slam, he didn't win the Masters that year.
Right. It was 3 and then 1.
Yeah, right.
Which is crazy because I watch documentaries on all this shit, but like that lead up is insane.
9 months for that.
Win 3 of the last 3 majors, and then you got to wait
Dude,
until that April.
when you hear them talk about that Masters, like the press conferences and stuff for that Masters are wild because Tiger's like they almost feel embarrassed asking him again because he's like, yeah, I mean, it's been 9 months of the same exact questions. I'm ready for the tournament. I'm like, dude, that hype must have been insanity.
Insane.
and then he won.
And then he won
then
it.
he won.
Insane.
The other one's 02. Tiger won the Masters, and then he won at Bethpage, the U.S. Open. So
Yeah.
then he would have gone into, I think it was like, where was it? It was somewhere brutal that year. And I think he started the first couple rounds playing great and then shot like 82 in crazy weather or something like that.
Jesus.
I think that might have been that year.
I might do that with you.
I think I'm gonna put some on that.
Just a little.
Get excited about it. 40 to 1.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. We should have Billy Horschel coming up next.
Do you want to mention For the Cut?
Just that we don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have it.
Oh, I thought we did the For the Cut.
Yeah, they're not able to get odds for the cut.
Okay.
We thought they were, but
I get it.
just want to make sure
it's team event.
Yeah.
Team events are rare, and they've got different format and all that, so they're just not able to do it. Regulations are tight. I understand that, unfortunately.
Super
so yeah,
fair.
can't do the 4 cut this week, but it'll be back next week. Next week's a cut event, hopefully. It's funny, we do 4 the cut, and then all of a sudden they have no cut events on tour.
Right.
And they do a team event where you can't really do it.
Right.
We'll get back on track.
We'll get back. Get back. Okay. Thanks for listening. Enjoy Billy Horschel. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. If your shades go MIA or take a hit, do not sweat it. They got lost and broken protection, so you're covered from day one. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. I love Shady Rays. I wear them in videos all the time. People ask me what kind of shades are you rocking? It's Shady Rays. That's what we're rocking.
I'm gonna start becoming a heavy sunglassing wearing person.
You should be a sunglassing wearing person.
Yeah.
Sure.
I always get such bad sunburn under my eyes. I think it's like ruining me.
You gotta. I don't know why you don't.
I'm gonna start wearing them. I want to get some Shady
You
Rays.
also say when we go to sunny places, you get tired fast and your
Yes.
eyes hurt. It's because you're squinting.
Yes.
You need sunglasses.
I'm gonna wear sunglasses all the time this summer.
And you'll look cool as fuck.
Yeah, I'll look cool as fuck.
Fly.
Yeah.
Like Trent and his linens.
Like me and my linens.
Let me see. Is this?
look at that. Bro, put them on.
My dad harps on me about sunglasses, so I guess it's bad for your eye. Oh, yeah, dude.
The sun's bad for your eyes.
Yeah, bad for your eyes. Bad
Yeah,
for
dude,
your
come
eyes.
on. You know what you look like?
Cool.
You look like Shane Gillis right now.
Oh fuck!
Look at him.
God damn it!
No, that's a good thing.
Ugh.
You just have that look.
He goes, God damn it.
Oh man.
Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com. Use the code FORE for 35% off polarized sunglasses. That's 35% off. Code is FORE at shadyrays.com. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Shadyrays.com. Use the code FORE.
We are joined by Billy Horschel, one of the most recent winners on the PGA Tour. He won in Corrales. So while kind of the top guys were at RBC, Billy was doing work in the Dominican Republic. So great week last week. And I kind of wanted to start there with, I think the last time you were on this show, you were talking with Riggs, and it was right after you got emotional and on the microphone, and you were playing really, really poorly. And, the way that it works on the PGA Tour, if you play poorly, there's no guarantee that you're going to be in these big events. And so you kind of had to swallow the pride a little bit last week. And you for your whole career, basically, you've been a guy who's been in those events. So what was that experience like last week, going down there, being one of the bigger names down there? I know you wish you were at Hilton Head, but you went down there and got the job done.
Yeah, it was a great week last week. To get a victory, get back in the winner's circle, and you're talking about swallowing the pride. I realized after Valero, after I missed a cut, knew I was probably going to follow the Aon 5, which wasn't going to give me RBC. I knew I was on a short list to possibly get a sponsor exemption. There needed to be some stuff to follow my way to possibly get one. So I was preparing myself that I would possibly have to go down to Corrales. I wanted to go down because I felt like my game was I was playing some good golf. I knew there was some good stuff coming. I felt like I just didn't want to sit home for 2 weeks and not play. And so, I had 2 weeks to prepare that I may be going to play an opposite field event, which I haven't done in a long time in my career.
I was going to say, when's the last time you played an opposite field event?
It was 2018. I didn't get into the British Open at Carnoustie, and I went and played the first year the Barbasol event in Louisville, Lexington, Kentucky, and I finished second, the Troy Merritt. And then I went on to finish a year strong and finished second to Tiger at the Tour Championship. So there's some history there of me playing well in some of these opposite field events leads to good things down the road. So yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, I've always been in these big events for the last 10 years, and not to be in them this year, it was going to suck. I had to play my way back into those events. I put myself in this hole. I dug myself this hole. So I had to play my way into these big events again. And, we're closer to being in these big events a little more consistently, but we're still not to the point where we wanted to be. But last week at Corrales was a big step in the right direction.
I noticed you say we. That's sort of a modern thing. When you say we, who are you talking about?
Oh, I'm talking about my teacher, Todd Anderson, who I've been with for 16, 17 years now. I've been with my trainer, Alex Bennett, for 7 years. I've been with my sports psychologist, Brett McKay, for 7 years. I've got my old caddy back on the bag, Micah, who caddied for me for 6 years. We won the FedEx Cup together. He's been back on the bag since last May. I got my physio and Brian Smith, who I've been with for a decade. And then I got my family. I got my wife, my kids, my parents. I know golf's an individual sport, and we are the ones hitting the golf shots at the end of the day. But there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people don't see that plays a massive part into our success on the golf course.
Have you been, as Brett fielded a fair number of phone calls over the last year? Because, it's an interesting spot to be. You're kind of in, you're in your 30s, you're playing well basically for the last 10 years. And then you have this down year. Like, mentally, how did you sort of handle that? And how did you still, because you've accomplished so much in the game, and then you're kind of dealt a case of humble pie. How did you deal with that on the mental side?
I think I dealt with it decently well, in the sense of, I didn't look at I didn't feel sorry for myself. I didn't feel like, this shouldn't be happening to me. I sort of was like, man, this just sucks. Like, I'm putting a lot of hard work and I'm just not getting the results that I have gotten in the past over my career. And I think it was just one of those things that there's no other way to say it, of I'm just going to continue to work harder until I get what I want. My tendency is that if things aren't going well, I'm going to double down on what I do. And sometimes you just need to sort of maybe take a step back and be a little easier on yourself. And I think that's what we did a little bit. We tried to push hard at the beginning of the year when things weren't working well, and it sort of kicked us in the face. And after Memorial, after shooting that 84, and, because I talked to my team about everything that was going on and how I was feeling, how I was playing, but I don't know what it was, just that spontaneous of being open and sharing how I felt and what was going on really sort of just felt like the weight of the world came off my shoulders. And then I started to progress in the right way.
I think everyone in any walk of life can relate to that, where it's like sometimes you have all these feelings that are bottled up inside of you, and sometimes you need a good cry. Or you need to just go out and yell. And my wife, she moved to California. She doesn't know anyone out here. It's been tough for her. And the other day I was like, just let it out. I think you have to have that catharsis. So that's really interesting to me that you felt like that actually helped you.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it after that, I played well at LACC, a week and a half later. I didn't play a great final round, but I was inside, I think, the top 20 going to the final round. I played well at Travelers. I had a bad putting week. I make the cut at the Scottish Open, the Open Championship. I just, was just a little off of the game. And then I played well at 3M, played well at Wyndham. I go over to Europe. I play well in the 4 events I play over in Europe. And, so I started building some momentum. And so, like I said, it was just like the break point that get me over the hump. And then I slowly have started working my way back to where I would like to be in this game.
You mentioned you got your old caddy back on the bag. That's always an interesting dynamic, I think, for people to kind of. So you have all this success with this guy. Why did you guys break up in the first place? And then what is that call like when you're like, hey man, you wanna get the band back together?
So why did we break up? I think as we grow as humans and as people, things that we need and things that we want change. And so when he started working for me at the age of 25, I think it was. I was one person and one golfer, and then 6 years later I had become a different person and a different golfer, and I just felt like we just needed a little change. I wanted something a little bit different in the caddy, and so it's always tough to in any kind of relationship, but I think that I've always tried to treat people the right way. So if something does happen, I still have their friendship, still have the respect. I still respect them. They still respect me. Michael is a great guy, always has been a great guy. And so, we broke up at the beginning of 2017, and then I called him last May. And like I said, we've had conversations. I've still chit-chat with him over the years. And
you got to send the feeler text, like it's, hey man, like, hope you're good, just keep it alive.
Yeah. And so I called him last May and I said, hey, I've got I know you're on a bag. I know you're on SH Kim's bag. Young guy out here on tour. He's got a lot of potential. I'm looking for a caddy. Would love for you to caddy, come back on the bag. And, I gave him an offer that I thought was a very strong offer. And I think he was excited to get back on this team. And he's been unbelievable. In the year he's been with me, it's been awesome. I couldn't have asked anything more than what he's given of this last year. And it's just been really nice to have him back on the bag and for him to, get his 6th win on the PGA Tour has been pretty cool for him.
How many of those were with you?
3.
Okay.
Wait,
so you've contributed, more than half.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
So the guy you beat last week, or you beat everybody, but one of the guys you beat last week, Wesley Bryan, is kind of in our world a little bit. And I think people were really following that, and to see a guy go from, playing YouTube matches to, I think he had the 18, 36, and 54 hole lead. I know it was in Dominican Republic, so maybe not like the biggest crowds in the world, but are you like kind of aware of Wesley and what he does? And were you impressed that he kind of was able to do that given how much attention is going to kind of a YouTube world these days?
Yeah. Wesley was out here on the PGA Tour for a handful of years. He's got a win at RBC. He's gone through a last tough 4 or 5 years with injuries and hasn't played well when he has played out here. I know he's gone back a little bit to the YouTube, and I know he's bought a golf course with his brother and redesigning it and doing that. And so, his lifestyle has changed from being a professional, a full-time PGA Tour player to, being, back to what he was before he got on tour, a social media, YouTube. He did trick shots with his brother back in the day. So yeah, I was really impressed because I knew he hadn't probably played a lot of golf at a highly competitive level. And to go down there and shoot 9 under and then hold the lead after 18, 36, 54. And he actually played a really good round of golf on Sunday. I thought that was really impressive. And it shows you, I mean, listen, there's one thing about Wesley that I've known Wesley since we were in college. His brother and I are the same age. He's 2 years younger than me.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys are kind of in the same circle.
Yeah. And his family's awesome. His dad, I remember when I got out of college, I was playing a mini tour event in Colombia. I went out to dinner with his dad and everything, their dad. Wesley's always been really cocky and really self-assured of himself in the sense of he feels like his game can compete with anyone. And obviously it's shown over the years that he can by winning RBC, but he still has that mentality. So, if he just sees a little bit of the results, he's going to back, he's already has the confidence to back that up. So.
He does have the confidence. I remember one time I tweeted something like, the RBC Heritage has had some kind of random winners, and I tweeted like, oh, Wesley Bryan. And ever since then, every time I see him, he's like, oh, I'm a random winner. Huh? I'm a random winner. So he almost became a random 2-time winner. So that was your first time really in contention in a little while. You shot 63 in the final round. Did it feel like riding a bike, or did it feel like it was your first time doing it again? How were your nerves? And obviously you handled it pretty well.
Yeah, it felt like riding a bike.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah,
that must have felt so good.
It did. There's several things that, I do well as a golfer. And I think one thing that I talked about this on the coverage on Sunday after round. I think when you're leading a golf tournament, you either it's an innate ability, like you're just born with being comfortable in that situation and you play well and you produce, or you grow into it. You learn how to get comfortable. You learn how to play well. I feel like for some reason throughout my career on the PGA Tour and just playing other sports, it's just one of those innate things. Like I love having that pressure on me. I love having the spotlight on me. And for the most part, throughout my life, I've always been able to excel in those moments, whether it be on the golf course or whether it be playing baseball or other sports growing up. So being there on Sunday just felt comfortable with me. I love that feeling. I love, having the nerves that you're going to feel, having the, at that point in time when you're leading, every shot means a lot. And you don't want to drop a golf shot because then that could cost you winning the golf tournament, when it's all said and done. So I've always enjoyed those moments. It's always been comfortable. So yes, it did feel like riding a bike, and the bike felt wonderful.
Yeah, it's got to be a great feeling. So you turned pro in 2009. So you kind of missed the heyday of the Tiger days, but you were around for Spieth's run, you were around for Rory's run, you were around for Rahm, you were around for kind of the guys in the post Tiger era. Where do you put what Scottie's doing right now as a guy who's seen a lot, and you've seen different standards of golf, and you've played with all these guys at the height of their powers? I don't know if you've seen him much up close recently, but what's been kind of your perspective on these last couple months?
Yeah, I think what he's done these last couple months, over the last a little over 2+ years now, is pretty remarkable. I mean, the play at that high of a level, the ball striking is what I'm really amazed with. The level of ball striking on a consistent basis, the level of his short game, just the ease at which he plays has been amazing. As I said, a little bit recently, we're doing a little bit of a disservice to Scottie trying to compare him to Tiger. Because what Tiger's done is just insane. And I know we always want to compare Tiger because he is Mount Everest. He is the guy who's at the top of it. But if you compare him to, like you said, Rory's little run, Rahm's little run, DJ's little run, Jason Day's little run, you're like, man, it's better than any of those guys' run, really, roughly right now. Maybe Brooks Koepka is probably got him a little bit just on the majors aspect of winning 4 majors in what a 3-year time frame. But Brooks didn't even win the PGA Tour events that Scottie has won, and since not only was he winning majors, he was winning PGA Tour events. Brooks was just winning majors pretty much. Brooks had come out and said, hey, I only really care about the majors. The PGA Tour events don't really matter that much to me. But I think if Scottie continues this run for the next couple of years, I mean, that's when we can really start to compare him to Tiger. And it's unbelievable because I knew when Scottie came out, I played with him a little bit as a rookie.
I was going to ask, like, what was your kind of first impressions?
I remember playing with him at Colonial. I think it was the final round, and maybe I played with him somewhere else. And I knew he was a really good player. I knew, what he'd done in junior golf and college golf. And I saw him like, hey, this guy's really good. He's going to be a really good player. He's got top 30, ability out here to be a great player. I would have never imagined what I'm seeing now in him. And I'm just, not that it's a knock against him at all, but I mean, he was a really good player that had that ability to be a top 10 player. I just didn't see. No one can predict what we've seen these last 2+ years.
Well, it's been interesting, from like the media perspective, because I just remember, when he got picked to play in the Ryder Cup, and he was a good player. He just didn't really win. That was kind of the knock on him. He had a lot of top 10s, but he was a good young player. But like Rahm was like, there's all the talk about he was the top 10 player in the world when he turned pro, and Rory was kind of the golden child I remember watching him in the British Open when he was like 17 years old. And Scottie was a great college player, and he's been great at every level, but you're right, he's taken a leap in the last couple of years. What is that physical, is that mental, is that belief?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's obviously the belief that you can play good golf when you don't have your good stuff. It's just the mechanical, technical stuff being more consistent day in and day out. I talk to people about, when I tell people about myself and I comparing to other players, like my talent level, what my peak talent level is here, and then you got Rory and some other guys up here. So when I'm off, I may be down here. My bad is down here. I'm trying to get my bad to be close to my top, to my when I'm playing really great. They have a bigger margin for error because their talent level's off. Their talent level's so high. So I'm trying to make my bad close to my good every day. Now, here's Scottie when he's at his top, and his bad's like right here, right now. So, I mean, it's really, that just shows you how great he is consistently, day in and day out. Even he is a little off, he's still so close to what his top, capability is, and that's just impressive to me.
Yeah, he hasn't shot over par yet this season. He's only got two.
I just saw that
even
stat.
Par rounds.
I saw that stat. That's amazing. I mean,
he's not playing easy golf courses.
No, he's played 6 or 7 tournaments maybe. And he's only shot 2 rounds of par, and everything else has been under par. Like, I can't fathom that. I honestly, someone has to go back and look and see if Tiger ever did that and compare it to like golf courses, see if he ever had, over a stretch of 40 rounds where he only played, shot
52. I think is the record. I think he has the record for rounds of par or better at 52, and Scottie's getting there.
Jeez,
I think, yeah,
it's just impressive.
I wanted to ask you, there's some news today about guys getting some equity in PGA Tour enterprises. And I know you've been outspoken about, these kind of chaotic last 2 years. What's your take on this and on players being kind of part owners in this new entity? Do you feel like it gives you guys some skin in the game? Do you feel like it's kind of too little too late? Is it a reaction to what's going on? Like, what's your take when you see, guys getting $30 million, but it vests in 4 years? It's a whole new world that you guys are entering where it's not just prize money anymore.
I think it's a really good thing. I think it's funny because in my time on the PGA Tour, players, talk like they want to be part of the PGA Tour, and they are part of the PGA Tour. But when it comes down to really understanding how the PGA Tour works, understanding how, the tour does sponsorships and the ins and outs of the PGA Tour, they haven't really wanted to know the in and outs as much and wanted to know the nitty gritty details. So hopefully now with them becoming equity stake in the PGA Tour, they will want to take more ownership in their product, more, understanding, what they can do to make the PGA Tour product better, what they can do to increase, the sponsorship on the PGA Tour, where the sponsors are happy and they're willing to put more money into the PGA Tour financially. So I think it's a good thing. It's going to take a little while for the money to get in our pockets, but I think it's one of those things that it allows guys, if you play well, you're going to get rewarded and really be able to benefit and be part of the growth of the PGA Tour.
Have you done any, Strategic Sports Group is obviously, a massive part of the future of golf. Have you talked to those guys about what their vision? Because I imagine they're not writing those checks to just keep things as they are. They've got to have some ideas. And are you starting to get a sense of what their vision is?
I'm very fortunate that Arthur Blank, who is part of the SSG group, has been a really good friend of mine for a decade plus. And we've had numerous conversations over the years about the PGA Tour, about the growth of the PGA Tour, the potential of the PGA Tour. Arthur Blank owns the PGA Tour Superstores. So he cares a lot about the PGA Tour. He believes a lot in the PGA Tour. And I will say, with him running the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta United, he really invests in his players. He really wants the players to succeed, not only on the field, but off the field as well. So we've had a few discussions, but I will say they are very, very bullish in the sense of they believe that the PGA Tour, there's a lot of room for growth in the PGA Tour in the financial sense, and they can really help us with that. So I think there's going to be some ideas.
With
I don't know,
media deals or new tournament styles. Like, what does that really look like?
There's a lot of different things being thrown around, and I haven't really got too much into that because my game's been more or less, I need to be focused more on my games. But I think there's things that we can do as players to make it a better product. One thing he mentioned to me was Patrick Mahomes isn't going to sit out, 1 or 2 games, because that's going to hurt the NFL product, because I think there's some stake in money or financial things, how there's certain things play out that if Patrick Mahomes doesn't play in a couple games, the TV numbers drop dramatically. And so then that hurts what the numbers, the financial dollars that come in, that winds up getting split amongst the NFL players. So I think it's something along those lines. So I think he was trying to say is we need to get to a place where the top players are playing a little bit more together. We're seeing that in the signature events, but I believe also we need to have more storylines in these signature events. I think the great thing about the PGA Tour over the history of time, and I think why people love watching the PGA Tour, is because there's so many different storylines and there's so many different David and Goliath stories. And I think when you ask people, like, what are some of your favorite moments of golf? And they say, hey, Bob made Tiger Woods at the PGA Championship 2000 Valhalla. The Pinehurst in 2000, the one Michael Campbell one was 2002, 2003, somewhere around there, with Michael Campbell, Jason Gore, Tiger Woods. When you have the top players and you have this, maybe a journeyman or a guy just coming out on the PGA Tour, going head to head. I think those are storylines that I think the golf fan and just the sport fan loves to watch and take in.
Who says you can't earn rewards if you're staying in a vacation rental? With Vrbo, you can book a vacation rental for your next golf outing and earn 2% cash back towards your next vacation through the One Key Rewards program. So relax knowing your next golf trip, you can stay in a vacation rental and actually get rewarded for it. Vrbo's awesome.
We posted a great video for Vrbo yesterday.
Mhm.
Did you see how that came out?
I did.
So funny.
Came out really well.
Vrbo's the best, and traveling's the best, and going on vacation is the best, and not being tied down to like a hotel or a resort where you get to go in, you get to see these houses on these amazing properties. You don't have to deal with any of the owners that are going to be there. It's by far the best situation that you can get.
Vrbo also has 24/7 customer service, means you can talk to a live person anytime, get help before, during, or after your stay. The key difference between Vrbo and other vacation rentals: the speed and ease in which you can get in touch with a human, allowing you to get back to playing golf and enjoying yourselves. Book your next private vacation rental in the Vrbo app. Vrbo is fantastic. You can receive discounts the longer you stay at a property, so you can save when you stay for an extended period of time, make your vacation longer, and save money. No brainer. Book your next private vacation rental in the Vrbo app.
I know you got to go soon, so it's my last question. It's obviously going to be the big question, the loaded question. Do we need the live guys back? Does that need to happen? I mean, we've had guys out there like Rory saying yes, and you've had guys up there like Jordan Spieth saying, we've got this investment. I don't know if we do. I'm curious your take.
I straddle the line on that. And I'll say that for two things. I agree with Rory. If we're going to get a deal with PIF, then we need those guys to be a part of the PGA Tour, because that's going to instantaneously increase the value, or at least the perception of the value of the PGA Tour. But I also understand the Jordan side that, and I've said this before Jordan or anyone else has said it. I said it back at the 22 Scottish Open. I'm okay if we have two competing tours. Like, competition, is a great thing, because it makes both sides have to improve and do things to get better. And I believe that the PGA Tour product will always win out, because I believe our product is better than anything that can come forth. So my thing is that if we don't get a deal with PIF, then we need to just stop this bickering, stop this little back and forth. I think that's what's turning off a lot of these fans a little bit. It's just the bickering between both sides back and forth. And, I'm going to say that I'm going to get shot for this a little bit. I think on the PGA Tour side, some of the bickering has gone away, but I think on their side, they're still, taking shots here and there. And I'm not saying the players are taking shots, but some of the supporters of Live Tours are taking shots, at what we're trying to do.
There's just a general nastiness in the world of golf right now.
It just needs to go away. And I'm not saying that there's not still nastiness from the PGA Tour side supporters back to the Live, but that all just needs to go away and just all needs to stop, because that's not beneficial to the game of golf and the growth of the game of golf.
Yeah. I'm with you. I yearn for peacetime. Thank you for hopping on, Billy. I appreciate it. Good luck this week. Know you've had some success in this event in the past. Keep it rolling. Nice to see you back in the winner's circle. We'll do it again soon.
Thanks, Rafa. Let's do it. See you, buddy.